Well, it's more trouble for the national carrier Air India. Over 100 Air India pilots have threatened to go on strike. 23 have reported sick, and leading to the cancellation of 10 international flights so far. The move by pilots may severely cripple Air India's flight operations. A meeting is currently on between the pilots and the management, and the Civil Aviation Minister has promised to resolve the issue as soon as possible.
I don't know, anybody has wrote like that. There's no such report to us. Not 100 people are leaving. Nobody can leave like that. That's the rule. That's not possible. That's one thing. There are rules, but I think it's not that simple. Then some pilots went on leave. That is the problem. But there is a issue between the 1:1 ratio fixed for the new aircraft which comes 787 if it comes. So that is some objection they have because the Air India is one point. Other point is that some of them went on leave because of the Air India Express problem. Air India Express problem. That is, Mr. Nandan is in Bombay. They will talk to us.
Kashif Kushru on the phone line with more details. Kashif, how serious are the pilots about their threat, or is this posturing in a long-standing negotiation between them and the airline?
Very difficult to say at this moment, Tamanna. In fact, it could be posturing by the pilots, putting in a lot of pressure on the management. Remember, this is about staking their claim on a particular type of aircraft, which is due to come in December. And a certain section of Air India pilots want the first right to fly those aircraft and do not want a certain section to fly those. So clearly, the negotiations between the management and the pilots still going on in Delhi. It's been 4 hours since negotiations have been going on. No outcome as yet as to what really happened in the meeting because both the sides are still locked inside. But what the sense I get from my sources is that there could be some resolution to this stalemate between the management and the pilots. And hopefully we could see the flights resuming to normalcy by this evening or tomorrow morning.
Now, what is the strategy that the Air India management has in place to deal with this standoff?
It is very surprising to note that Tamanna, that this afternoon Air India, in fact, issued an official statement saying that there was no strike call by the pilots and there were no pilots who were reporting sick, which is very contrary to what the pilots are claiming. So the management strategy, what I understand, is to clearly hold their ground and say that they reserve the right to choose that who will fly the new aircraft, and it's not the pilots who will choose. So clearly, management step will be to put down a firm stand and make sure the pilots adhere to their demands.
Now, Kashif, meanwhile, are the pilots ready to back down for the time being, seeing that the national carrier is facing grave trouble and many flights have been cancelled as well?
At this moment, there are not many flights which have been cancelled. In fact, about 10 of them were cancelled overnight. That too of Air India Express, which is a low-cost arm of Air India and which flies mainly to the Middle East sector from Kerala and some cities like Bombay and Delhi. But the pilots will have to back down from their demands because the management is very firm. There has been a circular issue to this effect that who will train and when, how will the pilots be trained on the new aircraft. And also a very important factor is that the new aircraft which we are all talking about, there is an uncertainty over it because it needs the government of India's approval to get all those aircraft into Air India because Air India is in such red scenario where it cannot pay for these new aircraft.